Well, good morning. Here's what's happening. I've been here at the model table for about, I'm guessing, an hour or so already this morning, and my coffee's half gone. Usually we start out with a full cup when I clunk it down. Now, a couple of things I want to mention, and I hope I'm going to remember what they are, because if there's more than one thing, usually I have to write down a little list. Now, first thing is, one of the viewers, and I'm sorry I'm not clunking your comment down on the bottom of the screen like I usually do.
Now, as you're gonna see here, I later did figure it out. It's sort of simple once you know how. All I did was I went on Google and I said, how do you adjust the direction of the slide in Adobe Premiere Pro? And up comes a whole bunch of suggestions, and yeah, it's not that hard once you know. Problem is, you gotta know.
The reason for that is because in the new editing program that I'm using, the Adobe Premiere Pro, the special effects are a little bit more difficult. It's not that it can't be done, it's just that there's too many menus and settings and everything that you have to go through to do it. So why am I using it? Let's not talk about that anymore. Anyway, what the viewer commented was, he was saying that he found that using the back side, like the dull side of the number 11 blade, worked good as a scraper instead of using the sharp side. Like I used to always use the sharp side. I don't think I ever did use the back side, but I can see when I look at it up close that it's got the edges are kind of sharp, and you can use it as a scraper here. Now I know you're way back and you can't really see what I'm doing here, but I've got a little piece here, and you remember that I had so carefully made little labels and everything so that I wouldn't get them mixed up. So I thought, well, I can tell that this one is longer than this one, and this one is longer than this one. And I thought, well, just in case. So I measured them, and for instance, I know that when we need the P8s, well, which one's the P8s? Well, the P8s are the ones that are 42 thousandths of an inch long. So I don't think I'm going to have any trouble, though. Now, I have just finished cleaning off the flashing for enough parts to make one plane. I don't think I'm going to even bother making the other one. Unless I break something here, then I'll clean it up, of course. But I'm going to try not to. And I have to be careful that I don't get myself all bogged down in a little tiny detail that's going to take about 3 days. And I know that I do have a habit of doing that sort of thing. I get so into it, and how can I video it? And first thing I know, I've spent 3 days getting no place. And I want to not do that on this plane. I want to stick this together and see if maybe by the end of today, what do we got here? 8:41 in the morning. I'm hoping that by 2:30, 3 o'clock, when we cut this video off, yeah, we'll have a plane made. What else was I going to say here? I was going to mention something else and I forgot. I should have made a list. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, now, before we get going, I edited out that last scene, and I was noticing that my auto ISO was going up and down as I was moving my hands in and out of the scene. And I don't know, maybe I should start setting the ISO to manual and just having it locked in so that, I don't know, we'll see what happens. I'm sure if I noticed it, other people did too. It wasn't really annoying, it was just not professional. Now, speaking of professional, I am not a professional model builder, but I am having a good time here. And I just wanted to mention, I was going to hang these up on the wall. These are the sprues that came with the aircraft. And there is, well, Kevin was wondering if possibly the reason I had extra pieces for aircraft pieces was because maybe there were other parts on the sprue. And I found it interesting in that this is probably the first time that an entire sprue, both on the Bismarck and the Hood, and now the Rodney build, we've come to a sprue where the only thing on it was for a particular part of the build, like in this case the aircraft. So yeah, there were exactly the right number of pieces on this sprue to make one aircraft, and then we got 2 sprues, so now I can hang them up on the wall. I've said that. Okay. I think that the best way to go will be to start from the top of the page. Oh, sorry, I gotta go. I'm getting ready for tomorrow. Okay, now what were we doing here? I think I was saying we should start at the top of the page and work our way down. So, all right. I haven't tried this yet, but both fuselage halves share the same tail. Now, I can imagine that there are people that probably will take and put some sort of putty in this crack here to... Actually, it's not too bad. This is the first time I'm sticking it together. It almost looks like a natural bulkhead there on the... or former on the aircraft. So, yeah, this is fitting together really, really well. I'll recompose here. Maybe I'll get rid of this this white background. It's probably throwing the ISO for a loop. You know, it's rather difficult to talk when you have the taste of pizza in your mouth. May as well be honest here. Now, if I keep it over the little black dot, everybody's going to get to see it. Now, if I put the quick setting on the edge there, there's a chance it's going to run on the underside of the fuselage and glue it to the cloth. Excuse me. And there, that's better. Well, I told you about the pizza, didn't I? Okay, I wonder if I should put something down. I wonder what I've got that isn't white, because white throws off the exposure. Okay, we are getting some reflection here off to the sides, but at least there's nothing in the center where the subject is, so if I put the glue bottle right there, that'll help a little bit. Now, maybe I shouldn't be using the quick setting. Maybe I should be using something that's a little bit slower. Yeah, I wonder if I should use something a little slower. Just use the regular. Where is it now? There we go. Okay. Problem is with the regular, it's well, that's too much. I was going to say it's not on the applicator, but okay. I'm going to try and get it as good as possible right in the back there where that seam is that you can hardly see. So that worked out okay. Now, oh, that doesn't want to work. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Well, at least it didn't go on the floor. I should have thought of that before I started. Well, I'll just hold it here for a minute. Meantime, I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm guessing about 5 minutes has passed here. And I sure got to take my hat off to the designers, or, the guys that designed the molds at Trumpeter. They did a really good job at being able to get this part to match onto this part. And, they did it in such a way that that seam that you see there, it looks like it's supposed to be there. So that's pretty good. Okay. Now, moving right along here. Now these have to be going in such a way that the little holes that you see are down. And the reason for that is because the stabilizer, like this front part would be considered the stabilizer, and the back part that moves up and down would be the elevator. And okay, so the idea is that there's going to be a little strut running from this hole to this hole. I think I could probably use the quick setting on this. Let's get it the right way around though, okay? Okay, and I believe there's going to be enough flex in that I'll be able to adjust it later. Maybe the time to do that is right now. Maybe I'll slip the macro lens on. We'll get in nice and close. Okay, now remember, keep it over the black dot. And, whoops. Now, if I can do this on camera, I don't know. See, right now, the stabilizer is not completely perpendicular to the rudder. It's sort of towards you. So when I put this in, I should be able to just, you know what, this is not working because I can't see the other hole. You can see it real good. Okay, now I've swung everything around here approximately 180 degrees, readjusted my lighting. Now if I can push that out just a little bit, oh, it slipped back. Now I have to be careful I don't get this too close to the end of the tweezer, or what's going to happen is it's going to ping out of there. Okay. Now, shove it in. I think I've got it. Now, my CDP wants me to poke at that, and I'm fighting this. Okay. Just let me get my quick setting. I think we'll use here. Just a tiny little bit on here now. Just a tiny little bit. Okay.
Now I think I got that pretty well flat, you might say. I don't think there was supposed to be any sort of positive or negative dihedral in the stabilizer. I think it was straight across. Looks pretty good to me. But I want you to notice something here. You can see it better maybe on the other side. You notice where they've got the bottom of the strut fastened in there. It looks as though they've got it fastened in on the rudder. That would make it a little bit heavy on the rudder pedals, wouldn't it? Yeah, that strut, I think, should have been just slightly further ahead towards the nose of the plane. Anyway, that's just my opinion. What do I know? Now, didn't I hear myself say something to the effect of, we should be able to make one of these today? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard myself say that. I'll put the macro lens back on. There's a couple of little holes in the bottom that go on these two little pegs here. Just let me recompose here so that you can see what's going on. Okay, I realize we don't have the macro lens on, but we're pretty close here. Should be able to see what's going on. You know, I just realized I didn't do a dry run. What if this doesn't work? Not getting very much on there. Oh yeah. Okay, so there's our two holes. That should be all right. Looks good to me. If you use your imagination, that blue tack looks like water. And as we say in the float plane business, if you can get it on the step, you can probably get it off the water. And right now, our Walrus is on the step. Yeah. Now, in the description, if I remember to do it, I'm going to put a link to a really good YouTube video that actually shows quite a few shots of this plane. Some of you have undoubtedly seen it already. I think the reason I came across it is because somebody had told me about it. At least I think it is. I may have come across it on my own, but who cares? Main thing is that you get to see it too. And yeah, some really good, sharp, well, black and white footage of this actual aircraft. And the video is not about the aircraft, it's about the catapult. But of course, they had to show the aircraft to demonstrate the catapult. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.